racers for Eagle Motorsports. It's a club inside of Georgia Southern that builds a car for the Formula SA competition every year. There's about 200 schools that go to the competition. The competition focuses on how you develop the car, the strategies that you come up with, develop the suspensions, the chassis, and all the components of the car. In previous years, they just did everything by trial and error. It was a lot of building, testing, and rebuilding again. The purpose of our research is trying to avoid the trial and error part by simulating the car in the computer with a program called Adams Car by MSC Software. We get all the information for the suspension system from the team. We build it in the Adams software. We test it and try to come up with different setups for damper and shock absorber to pass it along to the team so they can design the car without having to modify it on the run. Like we already give them exactly what they need. As you can tell in here, we designed the front and rear suspension on the car based on a set of data points called the hard points that they gave us. This is based on the model of their 2012 car. What we did was we put it in there, tested over different bumps and speeds, and tried to give them, a recommendation of what to do for them to have better traction on the car, therefore having a better result for the competition, right?
So what we looked at was different damper settings for the shock absorbers while the car is hitting either a bump or a pothole in the road. So we look at the shaft displacement of the shock absorber, and what we look at is oscillations, initial amplitude, and settle time. And what we want to do is find a setting that's got a short settle time, a high initial amplitude so that the tire remains in contact with the road, and no oscillations so that to minimize tire load variation, which reduces traction in the car. So we look at the graph here and we can see these settings have a high initial amplitude, but they tend to oscillate. We've got another setting here which does not oscillate but has a long settle time. So what we picked was the 445 setting, which is right here. It doesn't oscillate, it's got a short settle time, and then we used that setting and we simulated different bump sizes. Bump sizes of plus and 5 millimeters, plus or minus 10 millimeters, and plus or minus 15 millimeters. And we looked at the graphs here and we can see it's got a constant settle time and no oscillations. So we use that as a recommendation for the car in straight line events when the road conditions are poor. Car manufacturers all over the world actually use this software. They can optimize their designs before they ever put the car in production. They can determine how the car is actually going to perform before they ever fabricate anything.